Hi, my name is Bob Everson. I'm Senior Director for 5G Architecture here at Cisco Systems, and delighted to be here. When I think about the state of 5G, I really think about the tale of two 5Gs. One is on the consumer side and one is on the enterprise side. On the consumer front, candidly, I think operators are struggling to come up with a really compelling business model and business case around consumer deployments. There is some success there, but not enough and not as much as they would like to see. I think that will come along with time. But where the big opportunity and the big excitement is of course on the enterprise and private space. 5G is the first generation that was really designed with the enterprise customer expressly in mind, with differentiation around functionality that will really be meaningful for the enterprises. And so I think that's where the excitement is, and that's where the big opportunities are. When we look at the ecosystem, the ecosystem is developing. So, you don't expect all this to be available on day one, and it's coming along, but it is actually, extensive, because you need not only a core, you need spectrum to be allocated, you need radios to be built, you need user equipment, UEs to be built out there and defined across a wide diversity of use cases. And so it's developing along. It's not at full maturity, but it is making some progress. I think the first thing to really ground ourselves in is enterprises are not in the 5G business. They don't buy technology for technology's sake. They buy technology to solve business problems, which require sort of a wide ROI calculation. You can almost break it down to that. How much do I have to invest? What's my return on that? And when enterprises look at that, part of it, there's been a lot of focus in the industry around use cases, and I'm not even going to go through all the use cases. There's some exciting use cases out there, but what spans across all of the enterprise customers and all the private customers that we talk to is you have to make it really simple. Make it simple to integrate, make it easy for me to adopt, and allow it to behave like my existing network. And then you're going to see much greater adoption. There are some specialized use cases where, candidly, cellular systems come in and they act like a foreign object inside the network. And in some cases, there's justification for that. But when we really want to see this hit the tipping point and the full, set of opportunities and realize that full forecast for 5G, we have to take that friction out for adoption, and that's about simplicity. So when you look at what spans across, it really is that. Forecast is a big word. So first, I'm not an analyst, and not going to give my specific forecast here. There are a lot of forecasts out there. They're very exciting. I think in general, the way I think about this is, where are we and where are we going with private 5G? And when we look at 2023 and where we are, we're probably a little bit behind where we'd hoped to be a year or two ago. But I think that's a product of two things. One is the macroeconomic environment, which of course is spanning across everything, and it's caused enterprises to reevaluate things. In many cases, that's actually helping them justify more of the use cases around private 5G, but it also forces a bit of a reevaluation of just where they're spending money and the burden of that. And again, I keep going back to this simplicity thing, but the simpler it is for them to adopt, the easier it is for them to justify that. And so we're seeing that really pick up, and where they're getting to now is they're bringing really tangible use cases. In most cases, they say, look, we don't want to do proof of concepts anymore. We've done plenty of those. Let's look at real deployments. Here's our application. We want to look at building this out. And so I think that's, from a macroeconomic and from an enterprise standpoint, that's kind of where we are. I expect that to really pick up kind of later this year and into 2024 as we start to hit the tipping point in this market. The second thing when I look at forecast, I'll go back to this ecosystem maturity standpoint. I talked earlier about how it's developing, and still progressing along. We are seeing 5G SA devices now hit the market. For private 5G to really take off, we need more of these devices, more compatibility across there, and that's coming with time. So we see that maturing quite a bit over the next year or two. The 3GPP specs behind 5G as we look at, release 16, release 17, release 18, where some of the more specialized features are coming in over the next few years as well. So I would say the forecast looks really good, and we start to get to scale, hopefully, as I said, later this year and into early 2024. Thank you so much for your time and watching this. I look forward to seeing you at the Big 5G conference. I will be speaking on May 16th in the Private Networks in a 5G World session, and please look me up. Thanks again.